Hello everyone, today I'm going to present my research about the grammar suitability in Nicos Weg Film as a learning media in German level A1. In the process of learning a language in the modern era like today, there are so many types of media that can be used by the students or people in order to advance their language skills. Specifically on the internet, students can access the learning media all by themselves. For example, they can learn through films, music, or ebooks. But in this topic, we are going to focus on the film as a learning media. According to Suganda, film can provide materials that can increase students' interest and motivation. Therefore, the film is one of the alternative media that is recommended by many in the learning process. However, in the process of selecting films that will be used as a learning media, certain aspects must be considered, especially in films that have a didactic function. If you are talking about films with didactic functions in the language learning process, of course you have to pay attention to the language aspect and the level of language skills of the students or the recipients. Hermann, Straub, and Nothnagel also emphasized that one of the criteria we should pay attention to is the availability of language that can be understood by the students. On the internet, we can also find many sources that provide learning materials formed as a film, and one of them is Nicos Weg Film A1 by Deutsche Welle, which tells the story of a foreigner from Spain named Nico who came for the first time to Germany. The film is 1 hour 45 minutes long and has been viewed more than 10 million times since it was first uploaded in 2018. Deutsche Welle compiled all the video learning on their website and put it together into a film that is available from A1 to B1 level. However, I saw some comments on the film Nicos Weg A1 or A1 saying that the conversational language in the film is not in accordance with the level on the title, or they didn't understand because they felt this film using language that is considered hard for A1 level. Here are some of the comments that I found. And from these comments, I was really interested to analyze the suitability language that was used in the film. And I chose to focus on the grammar, because grammar is one of the main factors to the success of understanding a language. And I also used the Studio 21A book from authors Hermann and Christina Kuhn to get an answer if the film uses a grammar other than the A1 level. I decided to use this book because it already referred to the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. It is an internationally recognized standard for learning foreign language made by the European Union. Other than analyze the grammar types, I will also analyze the grammar progression in Nicos Weg A1 with the Studio 21 book. And to get the answer to my research questions, the method that I use in this research is a qualitative research method with a descriptive analysis approach. And so I compiled the data from the conversation in the film that represents any grammar types, and the data will be analyzed to give or provide an answer to my research questions. So, after watching the whole film and analyze the sentences that come out from the conversation, I got 34 types of grammar that implemented in the conversation by the characters. You can see all the 34 types of grammar from the table here. And from the data I had gathered from the film, I compared with Studio 21 book. Turns out 19 of them are suitable for the A1 level, and I cannot find the rest of the grammar types in the Studio 21 book. It means that 15 of them, or 56% of the grammar types in the table, from these 15 grammars that aren't suitable for A1 level, they were used in the film to match the conversation theme. For example, verben mit dative object, they use it when they were talking about clothes, or conjunctive zwei, usually they use it for in a buying and selling situation. Aside from these 15 known A1 level grammars that I found, I also heard so many Umgangssprache or colloquial language used in this film. Certainly, this can affect the understanding of the student while watching the movies. A1 level students tend to depend on the formal structure of the language, so it might be a little difficult and confusing for them if the media that has a didactic function uses Umgangssprache a lot. And next, for the second research question, how is the grammar progression in the Nicos Weg film? Rusler said, one of the important aspects in the textbooks that are used as a learning media, there should be a grammar progression. That means the provision of grammatical material is carried out in stages with the order of easy to difficult levels. Sugfels also said that way students are not overwhelmed in understanding a lot of grammar in a short of time. If we see in Chapter 1 of Studio 21A1 book, they introduce personal pronouns in German to be used later in forming the conjugation of a verb. After being able to form verbs with the required subject, Chapter 2 gave us information on how each noun has an article, and later the noun can complete a sentence as the object. But in Nicos Weg A1, the grammar is not given in stages. Let's take a look at the one first scene of this film. They showed a man in an airport speaking on his phone. The sentence that he used in this scene is perfect Satz or past tense. He said, "Ja, ich bin gut angekommen," which means, yes, I have arrived safely. According to Neuner and Hunfeld, in communication situation, the language used is generally a language that has a pragmatic function. That means the use of grammar is dependent on the context, situation, and to whom the speaker says a sentence in conversation in everyday situation. So, a lot of grammar material that hasn't actually been introduced to the A1 level student appears in the conversation because the grammar is needed to suit the conversational situation. To conclude this research, starting from the emergence of grammar that is not in accordance with level A1, the use of a lot of Umgangssprache, and also different grammar progression from textbooks, indeed, these things can affect the difficulty of understanding A1 students when they watch the Nicos Weg film. However, as an additional media in language learning, of course, things like that happen naturally because films are not the main media used by the students. By using additional media, students can be prepared if they are faced with a communicative situations. That way, later on, the students will be able to improve their ability to communicate in daily situations. The only problem with this film is that the title can give misunderstanding to the viewers or the students. They would think that this film is suitable for them because it has the A1 written on the title. But it turns out they use so many grammars other than in A1 level. But on the bright side, students can get some knowledge that they had not previously obtained in the main learning media. And here are the sources that I used for my research. So, that's the end of my presentation of my research. Thank you for watching.